Daf is Chavtes. We're starting from the top of Chavtes by Omar Rav, like 6-7 lines down. Omar Rav, Govashu Menorah Tisha Tfachim. The whole height of the menorah is 9 tfachim. Yesterday we learned that the height of the menorah is 18 tfachim. The Gemara went through a whole cheshbon why it's 18. 18 tfachim is about 6 feet. 9 tfachim is 3 feet. Eisvei Rav Shimi Bar Chia Rav. So Rav Shimi, we'll find out Rav Shimi is actually the grandson of Rav. So he asked Rav, Even oisa lefnei ha-menorah, uba sholish ma'alois, sholeh ha-kohen oimed, umeidev haneros. There's 3 steps to get up to the menorah. Now, if the menorah is only 3 feet tall, why in the world do we need steps? Anybody? That voice sounds familiar.
I think you mislabeled it. Did you call it 26?
Oh, we could. We'll switch it. Yeah, we'll edit it. The picture also gets edited. So the question is, how could you say that the menorah is only 9 tefachim high? If the menorah is 9 tefachim high, why do I need 3 stairs? Omarlei shimiyat. What, you consider yourself a chosh of a person? Shimi. What I meant is 9 tefachim from where the branches start. Now, if we do a very quick calculation of what we learned yesterday, you all remember, I'm sure, 3 tefachim is the base. Then there's 2 tefachim blank. Go back to your picture. Then you have 1 tefach of flowers of gevia, what do you call it? Kaftav Ferach. Then you have another 2 tefachim. How many tefachim are we at now? 8. 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 8. And then the konim start. So why in the world does the Gemara say that we're starting from 9? We're only at 8. How do we get to 9? So what they say the pshat is that at 8 starts a knob. And then somewhere in there, either on top towards the top of that knob, is where the konim come out of. So it's really like 8.5. At best, it's 9. Fine. Another point is that Rav never spoke like this to anybody. He wouldn't say to somebody, Akivat, like he said it to Shimi. Why? Because Shimi was his grandson, and he wanted to like be mechachem sort of. There's another Gemara like that in Nido with the same lashon. Fine. It was it was more of a chinuch. A grandfather could speak like that to grandson.
You idiot.
Chavivus, okay, fine, but you don't find that chavivus with other people. Now, the other point is that what I just said about this kaftor being that the konim come on top of the kaftor. This kaftor is like a tafach. It's meduig in the pasuk. It says the kaftor tachas shnei konim, so that the kaftor was here and then it comes out tachas shnei konim. Not if you learned that the kaftor that these branches came out of the kaftor, then it wouldn't be tachas, right? It says in the pasuk tachas shnei konim.
Well, maybe the first one went on stair konim
Depends
on the
which
ones above.
What?
And which kaftar?
No, obviously, but all of them are coming out of kaftor.
What's the stair konim?
Okay, Zog to Gemara. Ksiv. Now he's not here. Yisachar mentioned that there was other menorahs in the Beis Hamikdash. So here's the sugya. Ksiv by Shlomo HaMelech it says Va'perach va'aneres va'melko chaim zohav hu michloi zohav. In addition to the menorah that they use in the Beis Hamikdash, there were 10 other menorahs, and they were made out of michloi zav. As the Gemara, what's my michloi zav? Omar Ravami, shekilatu l'kol zav sagur shel shleimai. It depleted his entire zahav sagur. He had a type of gold. This zav was so beautiful and pure that nobody else could sell gold when they displayed this zav. Everybody realized, and it says also by Achashverosh, he had the Suda, he brought out all his beautiful gold, and when they brought out one kli from the Beis Hamikdash, all his gold became worthless, basically, because you were able to see the quality of this gold, and we're going to see what this quality is. It's insane.
It's difficult to understand the market forces because I'm sure that gold was much.
What back then? What?
The pure gold
Yeah.
would be much more expensive.
Probably 1,000 times the amount. Yeah, I was wondering, why would the clothes? It's like, if somebody's selling a diamond, jewelry stores are closing. It doesn't, right. I had the same shaila, yeah. The price was literally 1,000 times the price. We'll see soon. Why?
It could be that only people who could afford to buy gold were the people who couldn't.
But it's not so much the market. It's not the market. It shows how when you have what's the name of the jewelry? The fake stuff. Yeah, but zirconium. But whatever.
Fashion jewelry.
You can't. When you look at it, you can't really tell. So over here, you could tell it's a different color gold. So then, it's not so much the price as much as it embarrasses the gold. So all those guys, they close the shop for a couple of days and then they open up later, sell the garbage stuff.
People forget.
Yeah. Says the Gemara, Damar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav, Eser menorahs as Shlomo. Shlomo Melech had 10 menorahs. V'cholachas v'achas hevi lo 1,000 kikar zov. For each 1,000 kikar zov. V'chnisu 1,000 pa'amim lakur v'hemidu al kikar. In order to get to 1 kikar of gold, he had to put in 1,000 kikaris of gold into the oven, 1,000 times, and out came 1 kikar of zav. Now, just understand, in our terms, today a kikar of zav is about 72 kilo. How much is that in pounds? 2 times 2. The kids are 160 pounds. I don't know, whatever the math is. You do the math. 72 kilo times 1,000. 7,200 kilo of gold in order to get to 72 kilo.
Obviously, it wasn't
That's a
pure
crazy amount of gold. And that's for 1 menorah.
Gold. It wasn't pure gold. He purified the gold into it.
No, it's pure gold.
I'm saying previously.
No, pure gold. He took pure gold and made it into the unbelievable.
Gold is never pure. Our gold is never
Yeah,
pure.
whatever it was, I don't know. It wasn't cheap though.
24 karat, the reason that I make
What do you say?
gold is because it's bendable.
All right. Ini voksiv v'chol klei mashke hamelech shlomo zahav. So you're telling me it's a kashan that we just said that Shlomo HaMelech depleted all his zav sagur. How's it possible? It says v'chol klei mashke hamelech shlomo zahav. It's all made out of gold. V'chol klei beis yair lavonin zav sagur. Ein kesef nechshav b'mei shlomo l'muma. If it says that silver is worthless, obviously there's gold. How do you make silver worthless? By having a lot of gold. So if he had a lot of gold, then he had leftover gold. So what are you telling me? He depleted all his sources. Says the Gemara, Zov Sagur Kamrinon. I said he depleted stuff. The Sagur stuff he depleted, but he still had a lot of gold to the point where all the silver was worthless. Umi Chaser Kuli Hai? Does it really go down 1 kikar every time you put it in the oven? So now that's what Rashi says. Rashi says in Dibur Maskul Michaser Kuli Hai. Rashi says the grammar is 1,000 kikar. Chnisa 1,000 pam lakur at shiyamid kikar. Alma. Rashi says all it then bechol pam chaser kikar. Says the Marsha, it's not meduyik because it's impossible. If you put 1,000 kikaros in the oven and the first time you put it in 1 kikar goes off, now you're left with 999. You can't have a full kikar coming off because let's say you put 1 kikar in the oven. Is the kikar going to come off? No. It's 1,000th of that 1 kikar. So every time you have to go. In other words, the first time you put it in the oven, a lot more than a kikar came off. And every time it went down, you can't say that Rashi meant literally that every time you put it in the oven, 1 kikar came off. Anyways, hold on. So there was a mashu, they say it was like 144,000th of a, it makes a lot of sense. If you have 72 kikar, 72 kilo, so a half a gram is 144,000th of a kikar. get off a half a gram. V'chnisu shmoinim pa'amim lekur. They had to put it in the oven 80 times to get off a half a gram. Let's say. V'midu al kikar, and then they were able to get the kikar. So how are you telling me if 80 times in the times take off 1,000 kikar or 999 kikar? It doesn't add up. Says the Gemara, keeping the koi koi. Once you get to that point of purity, after 1,000 times in the oven, then the 1,001 time is only going to take off a mashu. In other words, even the 980 time, you're taking off mashu sheba mashu until you get to the purity. Not like Rashi that it goes to a kikar, every time it's a kikar, and then the last time, and then all of a sudden you're at, oh wow, by the way, I just noticed, look at that corner, we're on video now. So we got 2 lives here going. That's new. Okay. Seder. Everybody behave. Here we go. It's back on. It's what? What does it mean when the Torah says the menorah was tar? That basically the menorah came down from Shemayim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed Moshe Rabbeinu Mimakim Tahara. It came from a pure place, meaning it came from Shemayim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him, this is how you make the menorah. What's interesting is that in Rashi and Chumash, Rashi says that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't make the menorah, he took the gold and he threw into the fire and it came out. Fine. Ela me'ato. Ask the Gemara, if the word Tahara means that it came from Shemayim, Ela me'ato. Ala shulchan atom tar, you're going to tell me the shulchan also? HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him how to do it, that's that it came from a mokim tar. The pshat over there is that a shulchan can become tamei. The shulchan you put the lechem upon him could be also by menorah, also should be tar that you can make a menorah tamei. Say the Gemara no. Over there's a big chid that I can make the shulchan kliyates. The shulchan, even though it's covered with gold, is considered a kliyates because that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls it, kliyates. But it stays in one place and it doesn't move. Something that doesn't make. V'chol kliyates also in the nachas enu mekabel tuma. Melamed. The reason why it does become tamei, and that's what the Torah is saying, that it because they lift up the shulchan. Now the question is, where do they lift it out? Because it's very problematic. The shulchan is in the heichal, and if they lift it up, who's going to see it? So maybe they bring it to the door of the heichal. Some people brought it out into the azara, which is very problematic. Into the azara, you can't eat the bread anymore. Why do they show the oily regalim, the shulchan? They say, look, these are people that traveled, they went through a hard time getting to Beis HaMikdash, so they give them chizuk. They say, look at this lechem upon him. Ma'chi baschem, kedei Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Dom Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, neis godol nasav lechem upon him, si lukoi ki. The Pashup Pshat is that just like when they put the bread in on Shabbat, fresh, 8 days later, the following Shabbos, it's also hot. Look, mamash neis. Says Taisus, and if you don't hold that Pshat, there's another Pshat, it's fresh. Maybe it's not hot, but it's soft like 8 days ago. Okay, we're better off downstairs. The shulchan could become tamei. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Imer, Oren Shalesh, V'Shulchan Shalesh, U'Menorah Shalesh, Yodim Min HaShamayim. 3 things came down from Shamayim: the Oren, the Shulchan, and the Menorah. So in other words, he's mechulik. V'Ra Moshe V'Asik Moisam. So he's saying even the Shulchan, he saw Min HaShamayim and he did like it. Shenemar Urei V'Asei Kesavnisa Mashat Amar Bahar. So maybe say the Mishkan also came down from Shemayim and Moshe Rabbeinu imitated it. By the Mishkan it says the way I told you, like I showed you. Gavriel, it's unbelievable. Gavriel, the Malach Gavriel. He was wearing an apron. You know those aprons that those workers wear? Those thick aprons? That's what he was wearing. And he showed Moshe Rabbeinu how the menorah is done. The chsiv v'zeh maisa ha-menorah.
When it says Maisa Menorah, it means the
This-
form or
way,
or how it's made.
How it's made with the form, like all the kaftav, perach, gevia, all these things. It's very complicated. I saw the Rekeches that Gavriel is Gematria 246 and Mara is also 246. This is how he showed it to him. Mara through Gavriel. Tana the very bishmal. There's three things that Moshe Rabbeinu had difficulty understanding exactly until HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him with his finger. Menorah v'Rosh Chodesh u'shratzim. Rosh Chodesh, the size of the moon, u'shratzim. There's all types of shratzim. He had a difficulty understanding which ones are what. The Choyled, Tinshemes, what exactly that means. We don't even know today. Is it a turtle? Is it a frog? Or whatever those things are. He had to show him exactly what he meant. Menorah d'chsiv v'zeh ma'isa menorah. Rosh Chodesh d'chsiv ha'chodesh hazeh lochem rosh chodashim. Shrotzim d'chsiv v'zeh lochem atomi. V'yashomrim afil chashchita. He didn't know hagrama. He didn't know the place exactly where the shchita is in the neck. Shenemar v'zeh asher tasa ala mizbeach. Shtei parshiyos sheb'mezuzah ma'akvei zuzu. Nu sugya. Like 10 lines from the bottom. Shtei parshiyos sheb'mezuzah ma'akvei zuzu. V'afilu ksov echad ma'akvam. Even one letter is ma'akiv. Pshita. Of course, one letter is ma'akov. This is the famous saying. People say, "Oh, this person is makbid even to kutzi shel yud." What is kutzi shel yud? Ooh, I forgot it at home. I had my Masifta Gemara. Basically, kutzi shel yud, according to Rashi, I'll just have to do with my hands, but I'm backwards. So a yud, the way yud goes, chaval. I want to bring it. You have it over here. Oh, okay, fine. Shkoyach. Very important. The way the yud goes, according to the Rishonim, is it has. Rashi says it's this part. What we know as yud. Even better. Hey, you can give Rabbi Schoenberg his Gemara back. This part of the yud, according to Rashi. According to Rabbeinu Tam, it's the left part. This little guy over here. And according to other Rishonim, it's the top guy on top. Now, what's interesting about this guy in the bottom over here, Kutzish Yud, is that they discovered Sefer Torah that don't even have this. Old Sephardi Sefer Torah don't even have this guy on the left. Like it comes down, this left. See? Chaval, I don't have my Gemara. There's other things there I'm going to need soon. Okay.
So was that the right Kutza Shel Yod?
What?
It wasn't the Kutza Shel Yod if they don't have it.
No, because over here it says that you have to be makbid on Kutzish Yud. If you don't have the Kutzish Yud, it's possible. Rabbi Natam says the Kutzish Yud is that the left part of the Yud. But some Sefer Torahs didn't even have the left part. So how could he say that it's possible Sefer Torah? Vonami Pshito. That if something's missing from a letter, it's not the letter. Of course it's possible. Kidduch the Rabbi Yudomar Lach the Rav said. Don't Rabbi Yudomar Rav kol ois shein gvil mukaf lamarba ruchisa psula. The letter needs to have parchment around it. So Rashi learns, the Pashup Pshat is, that the letters cannot be touching each other. If a lamed is touching a mem, so you don't have parchment in between those two letters. The other Pshat is to have parchment on all. If you took a lamed and you were writing at the end of the klaf, on the bottom, let's say, and the leg of the lamed is touching the bottom of the klaf, so it doesn't have parchment all around, that's also possible. Nothing to do with touching another letter. It simply has to have parchment on all four sides. Rashi doesn't learn like that. Fine. Zog the Gemara, Omar Oshoyin Barnadbo, Mishmedi Rav Yehuda. Nikav kosher. Yerechoi pasul. So, there's two pshatim here. Either the pshat is that we're talking about the little guy. There's a dalid. How's a hay made? There's a dalid and then he has a little leg. So if the little leg, that's nikav toichoy shalei. If it's missing most of it, even if it has a mash or a little dot, that's enough for the The other pshat is in Rashi that you only need mukaf gvil. You need parchment all the way around the letter. Inside of the letter, so put the hay. Didn't touch any of the hay, but there's no parchment there. The whole inside. This is the hay. Fingers are the hay, and he poked the hole right in the middle. That's okay, because you have ink on all four sides. It's fine, and you have parchment around it.
Through the actual dalet or through the whole?
Through the parchment.
Not through the dollar.
Not through the
Not through the
dollar.
letter.
Not through the letter. The blank parchment in the center of the hay, which would be also the center of the mem, center of any letter that has sides, according to this pshat. Omar Reb Zeir l'didim min partially minei the Rav Huna v'Reb Yaakov Omar l'didim min partially minei the Rav Yehuda. Last words on the page. Ubet filling Yerechoi Ibn Shtaber Kishir is Ktanok Kosher Vimlav Puzzle. So the main part of the hay, the daled part, the big leg of the hay, as long as you have a small letter, meaning what's the smallest letter? A yud. So if you have a yud left over from the main part of the hay, that's enough. You don't have to have a long leg, halachically. It's nice, but if it's missing, it doesn't passel the tefillin. Says the Gemara, Agra Chamua de Rab Abba, Daf Chof Tesam in the base, Ipsikale Karo de Hay, Da'am Benikva. In this tefillin, Rashi says again tefillin. Over here it's understood why he says the tefillin, because it happens to be in the tefillin. The word ha'am appears in one of the parashas of tefillin. And the right leg of the hay got a little hole in it. Osakamei, the Reb Abba Omar Lei, Imishtair boy kishiro is tana kosher. I don't know if it's a hole. Nikva says, fine. So he said, okay, same halacha. If you have Tana kosher. So remember this halacha. What's the halacha? If you have anything the size of a yud, kosher, vimlav, posel. Another halacha. This is the famous halacha that we know. You know, a lot of times, in the middle of Kiryas HaTorah, the Bakayr stops, the whole commotion in shul. Bring a kid over. That's right over here. Bring the kid. When they bring Amri, the who Chamua, the Rami bar Dikule. He's the father-in-law of Rami, the son of Dikule. So the Hagoyis B'Tziyunim on the side says, look, you have a father-in-law and a son-in-law that have the same exact name. My father, by the way, and also Moshe Chaim's father, they both changed their names. His father's name was Avram. Changed his name to Eliakim. Why? Because his daughter got married to a guy that's Avram. It's even another kpeda. Fine, that's a whole different level. Like the father-in-laws, the mechutanim can't have the same name. There's a Yehuda chassid like that. But you have the same name as, and you didn't change your names.
I have the same name as my father-in-law. Both are wrong.
That's what was only the wife.
It's a big problem here. So you're gonna who? Your father-in-law right here? That could be some of the issues here.
When I go by Avi, he goes by Avi.
It's not a joke what you're saying. It's not a joke. Some people say, look over here, it says over here that his name was Rami with the Aleph, and the other guy was Rami without Aleph.
There was still problems there.
But really what they're trying to say is, in another Gemara is brought down the same thing. It says, Rami bar Tamri, Duhu, Rami bar Dikule. Now if you look, what does it mean? Tamri. And the other one is a palm tree. Basically, the same person. Some people call them dates, and some people call them palm tree. But over here in our Gemara, it says chamur, so you can't get out of it. What was the father-in-law? So this is a problem. Reb Chaim Kanievsky has a big problem with this Gemara. He wouldn't allow two people, a father-in-law and son-in-law, have the same name. I'm serious. This is big Rabbi the Chassid problems. Yeah. Right. All these. What happened? What?
He's very marked with the Nach also.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid and Tamir, they're out of business. What happened to them? Kara the Vav, the V'aroig. B'nikva. Again, there's a nekev, whatever nekev is, and the vav got chopped down. So it almost looked like there's two yuds in a row. Yehareg. Ozla gamed Reb Zera. Omarle zil aisi yinuko. Go bring a child. The loy chochem v'loy tipesh. He's not too smart, not too dumb. If he says it with the vav, the way it's supposed to be, kosher, Eloi, Yehareg hu uposel. So Rashi explains that a chacham, if you have a smart kid, not an American, like an Israeli kid that understands Hebrew, he's going to read the pasuk, and he's going to say, wait a minute, it cannot be Yehareg Hashem, chas v'shalom. He's going to realize the next word is Hashem. You can't kill Hashem. So he's going to put a vav in all by himself. He's going to say, oh, it has to be Yehareg. That's what Rashi says. In those days, those kids were pretty smart.
What they do nowadays is when they call a kid,
Yeah.
they cover over the
They're worried the kid's going to chap. Oh, okay. Now, this halacha, the Mordechai is a Rishon, he says this halacha only applies to a vav and a nun, one-legged guys. But a letter that has more than that we had 2 lines before, Kashir ois ktana kosher. As long as you have a yud left over, it's kosher. And that's referring, he says, to a larger letter such as a hey. Okay?
What does it mean it's kosher that you can fix it up?
That's kosher. What does kosher mean? That you can read from it right now.
We're talking about if it's a yud.
It's on Shabbos. Okay.
Zog the Gemara. There's a yud that's left inside of the hay, that's kosher.
If the top part of the hay looks like a yud and it has a leg, it's kosher. Yeah. Zog the Gemara. Omar Rav Yud Omar Rav. Shmaka stuff. This is one of the most famous stories in Shas. It's right here in our sugya. Omar Rav Yud Omar Rav. B'shah shalom Moshe l'morim. When Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim, Mitzoy l'Kadosh Baruch Hu sheyoishe v'koisher kesorim liyoisiyos. Unbelievable. To me, this is just amazing. Like as if it took Kadosh Baruch Hu a long time to do this. Like there was a time. It wasn't like poof. It happened. He was busy with the ksarim. In other words, not every. We're going to see. There's Shatnez Gats. There's a bunch of letters that have crowns. Those 3 things that come out of the top of the letter. And Kadosh Baruch Hu was busy with it.
I think maybe, you brought up a good point. Maybe actually was to show you how important it was that he himself was being
right. Because each one, it's not the art behind it. It's the Torah that's behind each one. Everything came to say, each tag comes to say something. But yeah, it's hard to understand. We're going to see soon. Hold on, it gets more interesting. Over the phone of Rabbeinu Shalom, Moshe Rabbeinu tells him, "Mi ma'akav vayotcha." So there's a lot of pirushim here. Like, why do you have to bother yourself with it? Why can't you just give the Torah without it? In other words, one pshat I saw is, why don't you just put it into the Torah? Why are you giving us a Torah Shabbat Biksav, and we have to expound the whole Torah, the whole Shas, this whole thing? We have to expound from different Gzir Shavas and this, and put it all in the Torah. Just make the Torah the whole Shas that we have today, or without minus the Machlokes, so it'll be much smaller. It's like all the Shulchan Aruch should be boom right in there. What are you doing? That's one pshat I saw. Why are you doing this? That's the bottom line. That's what he said. Why he said it, not sure. There's somebody in the future. Rabbi Akiva. Multitude of halachos from each one of these tagim. I want to see him. Some people learn it, the turnaround. Okay? So, boom! I see anybody talking about this, but I guess for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's no time. There is no in the future. There's no future and past. So, Rabbi Akiva and Moshe Rabbeinu lived in the same time for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't see him, so he had to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to show him the future generation. So HaKadosh said, this is what I see right now. Here's Akiva. Boom! He put him in the shear. Where did he sit? He sat all the way. He had no idea what it was going on. He wasn't on their level. He couldn't understand what was going on. Tashash koichai.
In those days in yeshivas,
The further back, the less you are. Yeah.
Moshe Rabbeinu went to the back.
We don't know if it's the back. It could be there was 20 rows, but he went 8. He figured, let me go to the 8th. He sits in the 8th row.
He's at least an 8.
These are all symbolic numbers.
It's interesting. It wasn't like a movie. He was there. He put him in there. He was, bam. He was, what?
He was the first time traveler.
Yeah. He was in there. No, he wasn't the first. There's others.
So not right. Somebody must discuss this game. It's the 8th, or it's not.
Yeah, no, because some people say 18. Actually, I think if you look over here, the Gimel, let me see what I have here. Yeah, by me on the side it says Shmoyna Aser. There's 18. Fine. He became very discouraged. He was depressed. Whatever Tashish Koicha, he was got weak. Kivin shegia ledover echad, or whatever the Girsa here is. Amru loy Talmidov. The Talmid of Rabbi Kiva told Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi, Minayin Loch, how do you know this? Amar lehen halacha leMoshe Messinai, the famous halacha Moshe Messinai. Again, it needs a hesber. What? Moshe Rabbeinu was a Balgaiva. He felt good. They're mentioning my name. But he realized that everything that they're discussing actually comes from him. There's no chidushim here. So he already knows this Torah. He might not understand exactly what they're saying, but it came from him. Fine.
They don't understand. He didn't understand their longest, how they arrived at the drush.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true, because the Gemara always says that he showed Klal Yisrael how to learn it and how it came out. It's hard to believe that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know the lumdus.
How can it be that they're saying halacha Moshe Messina, that's what Moshe taught us, and Moshe himself doesn't understand it.
No, so maybe he didn't learn it yet. Why couldn't the story have happened at the beginning?
That's another problem I had. It did happen before Matan Torah. It was before Matan Torah.
So that
Hold on,
I
look.
understand it.
Right, but we have to understand that's a big problem I have with this thing. I don't know how to touch it up exactly. It was before. It was before. So how did he even know these halachas?
He didn't need a limud to learn about it. He understood it already. Straight. He didn't understand.
Exactly. Well, he understood it in a different way. He understood it. Hashem gave it to him, bam, without. That's what he was trying to say. Without knowing exactly. It's hard to understand it.
They work it out.
Okay.
There were no machlokes until
5 minutes.
Of course.
there was 6 machlokes.
Akiva is giving the drasha.
The first 6 machlokes ever. Hillel and Shammai,
Right.
there were, until then.
But we're not talking about machlokes. We're talking about understanding the depth, understanding something.
Arguments about how to understand it.
It wasn't an argument. They were trying to understand halacha. They were trying. I don't know. Chazal Baruch Hu. Omar Lefanav. So he traveled back to his real self. He's back. Comes like Baruch Hu Omar Lefanav. Rebbeinu Shalom. Yesh lecha adam kazeh v'atanois Torah al yadi. Why are you giving the Torah through me? It doesn't make sense. Akiva seems greater than me. Amar loi shtoik. Kach ola b'machshava lefanai. You're not going to understand my ways. That's how it is. Omar Lefanav Rebbeinu Shalom. Hirisani Torah also. Harini scharoi. I want to see his Torah. I saw his Torah. Now show me what kind of schar he gets. Okay, go back. Unbelievable. The Romans, not only did they scrape they killed him with those hot combs, but in order to degrade him even further, they took it and they gave it to the butchers to sell in the butcher shop. And they were basically weighing his meat. Sheiklin Besora. They were weighing Rebbe Kiva's meat.
They sent it to Rome, so that means they preserved it.
Where did the story happen? Where did they kill him?
Eva was in there.
Probably in Caesarea.
They went from Eretz
They sent
to
it to
Rome.
Rome.
Yeah.
I got to send it to Rome.
Omar Lefum, don't argue with the art scroll.
No 16.
Omar Lefum, everybody Shalaylam, Zu Torah v'Zu Schara. It's just interesting that he asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu to show him the schar, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu shows him the meat in the butcher shop. Like, that's the schar. Maybe it was the schar, because that's what Rebbe Kiva really wanted. He begged for it. He wanted to die like that. Omar loi shtoik kach ola b'machshava lefani. Just like you don't understand a Rebbe Kiva and what he deserves, so you don't understand who gives the Torah, who doesn't give the Torah.
Why does he want to see his schar?
It's the ultimate thing. That's the ultimate.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. Moshe doesn't care about it.
He wants to know what he's going to get.
No, that. Moshe obviously doesn't care about it.
That's schar. That's the ultimate thing. What's schar? You sit with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and learn Torah and Olam Emes. That's there's nothing greater than that.
Maybe just saying we see so great, so obviously he has the biggest schar. What kind of schar does a person get from seeing such greatness?
From seeing such greatness?
From having such greatness that he could do those.
Okay, but he wants to know why. What does he care? Omer Rava. Nothing yet. Omer Rava. Shiva oisiyos tzrichos shloisha ziyunim. There's 7 letters that need 3 zayins. They look like a zayin. Veluain shatnez gates, which is shin, ayin, tes, nun, zayin, gimel, and tzadik. Now, one of the letters is nun. What about the long nun and the nun? Or the last one is a tzaddik, a sofit. What about a regular tzaddik? Says Rashi. Also, those 2 need. Just because in the acronym here they're not like that, but they are. They do require the keser. Omer Ravashi. Chazina luhu l'sofri dafkone devei. I saw Sefer Torah that were written by the real professionals, the one that are very makpid. The chotri luhu legage deches. Now, the tolulei lekari dehei. So 2 things they did. According to Rashi, on top of the ches, there was a little like a keter, one little keter. Look in Tosfos on the side, or looking at Rashi, you'll see it has a little line on top, a little thing. Tosfos, the Rebbeinu Tam, says like we do today. It's like 2 zayins, and Tosfos says it comes from a lashon chatarta de gamla, like the hump of a camel. Hump of a camel has a spitz on top. So you take 2 zayins, and you like that. So what's very interesting is that we write a ches like Rebbeinu Tam. But our tefillin, which are written like Rebbeinu Tam, are in the order of Rashi. So we're completely messed up. We're not Yotze, not Rashi, not Rebbeinu Tam. That's what I came out with this again.
The truth is that Rashi and Rebbeinu Tam were only late things. Rebbeinu Tam tefillin dates back to long before Rebbeinu Tam.
100%. That's the biggest question in the world. Why didn't Rashi open up the tefillin of his father and see how and why did Rebbeinu Tam do it? So by the way, all this whole sugya, whoever missed the siyum, Rabbi Schoenberg spoke about a lot of this stuff here. So this is all just chazara, really. What? Zok the Gemara. Oh, now this, by the way, this is for Yeshua Aaron Price right over here. This is his famous Gemara. Koloimar, why does a ches have? That's the little thing on top of the ches. Okay. And this is also very amazing. What does it say here? It says, Rav Ashi said, I saw the professionals, very makbid, dafkone, in the house of Rav, who wrote a Sefer Torah, and guess what they did with the hay? The leg of the hay was hanging, meaning that the non-professionals didn't have a leg that was hanging. So what did it look like? I don't have my Gemara with me, but basically, that little leg was attached to the top of the hay. It didn't look like a ches, it was almost like a ches, just missing the bottom part of the little guy. It was a little guy. Or the pshakabi that was pushed inwards. So, let's say, this is not good. Ches being like this, it was like this. And the other pshat is, it was like this. Well, ches was like,
on the outside.
right, that's what I'm saying. Ches is like this, and the hay was like this. The dafkane, they went like this. They just took this guy and he was by himself. Oh, am I backwards here? Yeah, okay, fine. Like this.
Yeah, you can see it very clearly. Ches is on the outside and the hay is on the inside.
They have this hay, they have our hay and this thing. Let me see this. But they're not dafkane. That's fine, that's fine. Zog the Gemara. A 1,000 years old. The Nasiya is the grandson of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, and they called him Yehuda Nasiya to differentiate him from his grandfather. Nasiya, not Nasi. Trust her. the rock for Olamim. Omarlei kol hatoyle b'tchoinu b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu hareloi machse b'olam hazeh u'lolam haba. If you trust in Hashem, then you'll have protection in both worlds. Omarlei, no, I know hachiko kashili. This is what I was wondering. Ma'ishin d'chsiv biyah v'lo ksiv yah. It should say ki yah Hashem tzori lamim. Why is it biyah? Ki d'dar Rabbi Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi ein shnei lamim shebar HaKadosh Baruch Hu echad behei ve'echad biyud. Says Rashi, echad behei, achas behei, achas biyud, chilek eshmoi, v'hitif mikol ois sholish tipim. Because Baruch Hu took his name, Yud K, and divided it. And he took one letter and added 3 drops to it. If you, anybody, by the way, you want to know how to make a world, this is it right here. You take one letter and add 3 drops. U'ma'oison tipim na'asu mayim ve'eish ve'avir, and they add on ve'afar, the 4 elements. Water, fire, wind. Put it on. God create the world with a hey and not with a aleph, a lamed, a mem. Mipnei shedoim elach sadro. It's like a hallway. Anybody has the right to leave, to go off the derech if they want. It's wide open on the bottom. And why is there a little leg in the hay? The hodar b'tshuva maililei. If somebody wants to do tshuva, and this is unbelievable, this is appropriate for today, for Erev Rosh Hashanah. Anybody who wants could do tshuva, and you just go back in. As the Gemara, ula'ayli b'hach. So let him go back in from the place he came out. He came out from the bottom of the hay. Let him go out the bottom of the hay. Why does the hay have to have another doorway on the top? Says the Gemara, it's very hard to do tshuva. You can't do tshuva on your own. You need help. Kedur Shlokish. Tomer Shlokish, Maidach Siv, Im Laletzim Uyolitz, Vila'anovim Yitenchein, Boletayim Misayinoisai. If somebody wants to do tshuva, you'll get help from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boletame Poisim Lein. If somebody wants to go off and wants to do Averis, they'll open up the door for him. It's a different lashon. They're not going to help him, they'll open up the door for him. I just want to say that my nephew, Eli Stefansky, so he told me a nice pshat. He said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu opens up the door on top of the hay, because when you do tshuva, you go to a higher place than where you are to begin with. That's his own pshat. I think it's a very nice pshat. Zog the Gemara. Why does the hay have a little crown? If somebody does tshuva, ani koisheloi kesher, or keser, you have to say here. If somebody does tshuva, HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts a crown on his head. Why is the world to come in the smallest letter, the yud? There are very few that get to go to Gan Eden, and therefore it was created with the yud. The Marshal learns that the tzaddikim are anovim, they bow down, they make themselves smaller. And why is the yud bent? It has like a bend in it. Interesting. Tzaddikim, even tzaddikim gdolim that are in Gan Eden, they see what the other tzaddikim accomplished and they didn't accomplish, and that embarrasses them. It gives them a busha. You could see, everybody sees what everybody else did and didn't do, and they know what the other person did and they didn't achieve it, and it's an embarrassment to them. So they go with their heads down. Omer Rav Yosef, Hani Tarte Mili Omer Rav B'Sfarim. Rav said 2 halachas, V'tanya Tiyufte, and there's a big kasha on him. Choda Omer Rav, Sefer Torah shesh bo shtei tuos b'chol daf v'daf yitaken sholish yigonis. If a Sefer Torah has 2 mistakes per page, you fix it. If it has 3, forget about it, bury it. V'tanya Tiyufte, and arba yigonis. It says if there's 3, you should fix, not bury. Only if there's 4 mistakes, you should bury. Tana. I'm not exactly sure what the svar is. If there's 1 page that started out kosher, not that he fixed it, but it was good, and the Gemara is going to say in a second, meaning it had less than 3 mistakes, even if it had 2 mistakes, then throughout the whole Sefer Torah, if the same page. that one page has the ability to save the whole Sefer Torah. Omer Rav Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta Mishmei Rav, V'udichsiv Rubei de Sifro Shaper. That's if most of the Sefer Torah written correctly. Says Rashi that there was 5-6 mistakes. Where does he say it? Lamed Aleph. I don't know. Okay. Omalei Abayla Rav Yosef. Yisbahu Dav Sholish Tu Yismai. What if the first page is not perfect? It has 3 mistakes. Omalei Hoyov Yisrael V'Tekunim Mitaken.
When you're saying page, they're touching it up here as column.
Column.
You don't mean like the 3 columns?
No. One column. We're talking about the column. Choice. That Rashi and Rif? Okay. I didn't see it here. But it is Rashi, right?
It's quoted by the Rashi.
Rashba? Rashba brings the Rashi. Okay.
Rashi and it's quoted in the
Got it. Zog the Gemara v'ani milach haseros. Avi yiseros. Listen, there's 2 types of psulim. You have a missing letter or an extra letter. Says the Gemara, we're talking about missing letters, but extra letters is not a problem. Chaseros my time Eloi. Why is missing a bigger problem? There's the halacha of zakeli vanveyu. Interesting. Over here, it's not just a chok. We will pass the Sefer Torah. Why? Because if you have a missing letter, where are you going to put the letter? You have to put it on top. You know, like those, when you write, it looks like menumer. It looks like a leopard. And that is puzzle. Yeah, that was just, yeah. I was kidding about the arrow. Yeah, scratch. The letter